What is up guys, Zach here from the Chaos Galaxy, and today I'm going to be doing something brand new. I'm going to be doing a tier list for various Chaos Galaxy related things. The game's got quite a lot of cards in now. It'd be nice to kind of go back through things I've done in the game and kind of rank them against each other. So the first video we'll be doing is boss monsters for the Chaos Galaxy. So I'll get straight into it. So I'm defining boss monsters as creatures with 8 stars or higher. As you gain 4 stars per turn, that means it takes 2 full turns to play this card, which I think is a good kind of indicator. Taking 2 whole turns to play makes it a good boss monster. So there'll be 3 things that I rank these by. First kind of requirement for a card to go high on this, to be high on this tier list, is artwork. How much fun I had drawing the artwork and how happy I was with the outcome of the artwork. The second requirement is how well the card performs all round. So not whether a card is good or bad, it's if the all round stats are satisfying, if I feel they fit the card, if the card feels like a boss monster, like if a card is way too easy to play and way too good. You know, for a boss monster you have to kind of, it's quite difficult to play, you have to earn it, and then you get a kind of good ability off that. Not final category is fan service. If you guys like the card, that's a huge factor as to whether I like cards or not. If you guys get good feedbacks, if I see like fan arts of certain cards, that makes me find new respect and appreciation for certain cards. If the card plays a big part in the lore and you guys really like that, that'll make it rank higher. So they're the 3 categories. So I've got 15 cards to show you, and we'll start with F tier and work our way up through E, D, C, B, A, and then S tier at the top. So starting off with F tier, I hate this card. It's the 8-star warrior who looks pretty powerful but isn't. One of the worst, quite possibly the worst creature in the game. I hate it and I regret making it. So that was quite brief. Right, moving into E tier. These are the cards that I don't think are complete failures, but I don't really like them that much. First one we have is Uuram, King of the Night Jungle. First released in the 3rd base galaxy for the set for the Night Jungle archetype, which is a really well-loved archetype amongst fans and me. I really love most of the Night Jungle creatures, however their boss, Uuram, I think I used a bit too much colour and detail in the artwork and it kind of all gets jumbled and a bit lost. His ability doesn't really suit the rest of the archetype, and you guys, although most of you love the Night Jungle cards, unfortunately their boss doesn't really go with them that well, which is why Uuram is down in E tier. Next up in E tier we have Bezerk Boulder Dragon. He's the boss creature and cover card for Base Galaxy 4. Again, Boulder Dragons are a really loved archetype, and this card is actually very useful, and I really like the fact that it's a boss creature with kind of really high stats but then a negative ability that brings it down slightly. It works well with the archetype, although I just really don't like the artwork I drew for him. I think you guys kind of feel the same, so that's why Berserk Boulder Dragon is in E tier as well. Moving up, we're going on to D tier now. And the first card we have in D tier is Commander BossBones. The boss, obviously, of the Skullcross archetype. He was first released in Set 3 and is a pretty good generic boss monster for the planet Sindell. He can be played on his own, however if he's played with his ability, his kind of boost isn't actually that good, so his ability and kind of usage as a boss monster is ranked down quite highly by that. I like his artwork, in fact it's probably my favourite artwork in the video that I've shown so far. However, I don't think he really looks strong enough to be an 8-star. I think he kind of looks like a 6-star or something lying around there. Definitely not the kind of main killer card of an archetype. So BossBones is ranked down in D tier, although I do like him quite a lot. Cool. The next card in D tier is one of the strongest cards at the time it was made. It's Viridius The Devourer from Set 1. Viridius kind of holds a place in my heart. He's been in a lot of my other trading card games that I made whilst I was growing up. And that's kind of the only reason he's ranked in D tier. He would probably be lower as he has no ability and not very good stats for an 8-star. His artwork I really liked when I made it, however it kind of came out printed on the card quite dark and not that exciting, although I'm a big fan of Viridius like as a concept. He hasn't ranked too highly on this list. And actually Gaios in general, although it's my favourite planet, has done pretty badly on the tier list. They're the only 2 entries in D and E tier. Okay, moving on to C tier. Now these are cards that I definitely like. I think they're solid, well-made cards, but they're maybe just not kind of, they're nothing special really. They're just like good cards, but that's where it ends. There's nothing crazy about them. So starting off in C tier, we have Elite Drangel, Set 2's cover card. You guys really like it. In fact, one of you guys likes it so much that someone made a freaking 3D paper mache model of it, which is amazing, which definitely kind of bumps it up from D tier to C tier, at least in this list. I do like the card, however, the elites are sort of an archetype. I guess they're not really an archetype, but they haven't taken off that much. The card's quite difficult to play. I do like its artwork, however, kind of on a serious note, looking back, I don't really like the way I drew him as like a naked dude. So, Elite Drangel, I like the card, but it's slightly weird and quite hard to play, and that's why I've ranked it in C tier. Next up, we have Phenominus the Bright. Oh, this picture's not that great quality. That's annoying. But anyway, shout outs to Daniel Young, the maker of this card. This is the only fan-made card on the list, and it came out in Legends of the Cosmos 1. Phenomenus the Bright is a card with question mark stats, which is kind of any boss monster with a question mark stat. I absolutely love. Thinking of combos and the possibilities of making it as strong as possible is amazing. A really solid card for the planet Rokah. It's the strongest card they had at the time it was made. The only thing is, although I really like it as a boss creature, it doesn't really fit into the planet Rokah itself with its ability. It doesn't really sit as part of an archetype or combos, which is kind of frustrating because I really like the card. The artwork's very cool and definitely earns a spot in C tier. Next up, the final card in C tier, we have Stalius of Sindian, the first Chaos Beast in the video. The main reason I like this card is its artwork. It's definitely the weakest of the Chaos Beasts, not in terms of artwork, just in terms of the way you play it. Big fan of the artwork, which is kind of why it's in C tier, although its ability isn't super exciting, which ranks it down slightly. I had a couple of problems with writing the ability. The fact that you can free play a killed Sindian creature, but he can't free play himself, but he can free play other things that can't be free played. It's a bit confusing, so that's why the card hasn't had quite the reception that some of the other Chaos Beasts had. But overall, really happy with this card and how the Chaos Beast came out in general, and you'll be seeing the other ones a lot higher on the list. Cool, so that rounds off C tier. Moving on to B tier, we're getting to the business end of the list now. These are cards that I really like. Kind of A and S tier, there was very little difference between them. However, I just can't put like 5 cards in the top of S tier. So B tier, we're starting off with the first starter deck card in the game, Sheosian Lava Behemoth. This is one of my favourite artworks in the entire game, which I've told you guys many a time. It's a very, very strong boss creature. I think maybe slightly too strong for an 8-star, which is why it's been ranked down slightly. And the Sheosian Lava archetype hasn't had the best reception from you guys, although I like a lot of the cards in it personally. Don't really like the way the cards play because it's kind of, the planet Sheos is super offensive, and I like kind of holding back with my plays, kind of pulling off combos, and that's how I like to win. And Sheosian and Sheos doesn't really play like that, although I love this card, I love its artwork. It really kind of set the benchmark for boss cards going forward after I made these starter decks. So Sheosian Lava Behemoth definitely earns its place high up in B tier. Next up in B tier, we have the first ridiculously rare for the game. It's Kranchon. This was, I think, the most well-received card at the time Set 1 was released. The first 8-star creature in the game, the first creature with 500 power, the first ridiculously rare card in the game. Kranchon was really the first boss monster in the game, and he really set the benchmark high. You guys absolutely love this card. It plays a big part in the Chaos Galaxy lore. The only reason it's not higher now is because it's kind of outdated. It doesn't really have an ability, and its health is quite weak, so it can be killed relatively easily. Although Kranchon is always going to hold a place high up on these tier lists just because of how kind of iconic he is. Moving on to A tier, this is really, really the top cards. Like I said, there was very little I could choose between the cards in A and S tier. I can't flaw them much. The first card in A tier is Zettoray Mantalossus. This is my favourite starter deck boss creature. Came out in Base Galaxy 2, Depths of Pelisium. Manta rays are my favourite animals, so this was always going to be a card that I really liked. Its stats are strong for an 8-star, and its ability, although difficult to pull off, if you can play it through its ability, you get some really, really nice bonuses from it. The Zettoray archetype didn't quite take off, although it's personally one of my favourite archetypes, and I love messing around with them, seeing what combos I can use. Zettoray Mantalossus would be in my own personal S tier, but as I'm doing this on the whole of like the community and stuff, it has to, I think, go high up in A tier. The next card in A tier is Cerberam of Sindell. All the Chaos Beasts have had a great response, but Cerberam of Sindell seems to be the one that you guys like the most. He's not my favourite Chaos Beast, he's definitely second place. I'm really happy with the way his artwork came out. he's put Sindell on the map as a planet. Sindell now is like pretty competitive because of this card, almost purely. Really strong card. The only reason it's ranked down is that it's slightly too overpowered. I had to change its ability from it being able to attack 3 times per turn to 2 times per turn, which is kind of annoying because now it doesn't go with like the 3 heads in the artwork. That's the only reason it's not in S tier, because it kind of frustrated me, the fact that I had to do that. Really solid card, makes Sindell the planet that it is, and you guys absolutely love him. Next up in A tier is none other than Omnius, the planet Abomination himself, the ridiculously rare card in set 2, the creator of the galaxy, the only 10-star card in the game, the highest combined stats out of any creature ever made. He's just a beast. If you're looking for a boss monster, Omnius, the planet Abomination, is the boss monster you're looking for. He would be in S tier because he's pretty much near perfect. I love the fact how he's still so competitive, or even though he doesn't have an ability. I think that's a really good sign in the trading card game. The only thing is, personally, I'm not massive on his artwork. I really like the use of colour and stuff, but I think his artwork looks slightly boring and almost too like humanoid. I prefer more abstract creatures, although really happy with Omnius and how he fits into the lore, how he's getting used a lot in competitive play, and is just a generic card that kind of anyone can put into their galaxy. Alright, we've got 2 cards left in S tier. If you know all the boss creatures in Chaos Galaxy, then congratulations, but I highly doubt that, because I mean, I had to even look up a list to find these cards. The first card we have in S tier, these are pretty much flawless cards in my opinion, is Infiknight. The Knight cards have been coming out since set 1, and I felt I needed to give them a boss creature in set 2, which I was quite hesitant to do because the initial Knights got such a good response by you guys that there was so much pressure on releasing this Infiknight card. Although I feel like his artwork kind of perfectly embodies all the Knights in one. The use of colour, I think, works really nicely with him. His ability is almost perfect as a boss creature. The fact that you have to kind of wait until all your different Knights have been killed, and then you play him at the end of the game when he's super powerful, and you can just win like that. The fact that he can be thrown into other galaxies which don't even use Knights is cool, although he works best with the Knight cards and has gained some really good support cards throughout the course of the game, and the fact that you guys love him so much as well definitely earns him a spot in the God tier of Chaos Galaxy boss monsters. Cool, and the final boss creature we have in S tier for this Chaos Galaxy tier list is the final Chaos Beast, is Pterokon of Rokah. Fun fact, Pterokon actually gave me the idea of making Chaos Beasts. I drew this artwork and I was like, oh, that card's sick. I'd like to make a kind of equivalent of him for every single planet. Nicknamed the Elite Wildwing, he definitely embodies what the planet Rokah is all about. Strange creatures and flying demons. Rokah is one of my favourite planets, and his stats are really well balanced, and he's got a great ability that happens if you're using the planet Rokah. I love using him in battles, and his artwork I'm a huge fan of. The use of colour, I think I've done really well with him, and you guys seem to love him as well, as you do with all the Chaos Beasts, which I'm really grateful for. But Pterokon of Rokah, pretty much a flawless boss monster in the Chaos Galaxy game in my opinion. So that's my Chaos Galaxy tier list for boss creatures in the game. I'll do a quick run through of everything again, and if you want to leave your tier list for all these cards, I'll leave a list of all the cards shown in this video in the description, and you can. I'd love to see your guys' thoughts and opinions in the comments section. So for F tier, we've got Warrior, who looks pretty powerful but isn't. Just need to forget I made that card. We then have in E tier, Uuram, King of the Night Jungle, and Bezerk Boulder Dragon. D tier's got Commander BossBones and Viridius The Devourer in. C tier, we've got Elite Drangel, Phenominus the Bright, shoutouts to Daniel Yun, and Stalius of Sindian. B tier, we have Sheosian Lava Behemoth and Kranchon. A tier, we've got Omnius, the planet Abomination, Cerberam of Sindell, and Zettoray Mantalossus. And then in the top tier, the God tier, the S tier, we have Infiknight and Pterokon of Rokah. So, let me know if you'd like to see more of these tier lists for other things, and give me suggestions of things I could rank in tiers down below. I'd really love to carry these on as a video series. I've seen a few other YouTube channels doing it, which is why I kind of got into it. But yeah, let me know what you think of my list. Please like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Chaos Galaxy TCG. If you want to get your hands on some Chaos Galaxy cards, there'll be a link to the online store in the description. But thanks for watching. I'd love to see your tier lists below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.